Yad nga agahon. Coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan in the Philippines. I got my coffee with Gino cup here. My Copico Blanca 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Coffee, cream, and sugar. It's in a powder form. You just put the powder in your cup, add hot water, and you have a nice cup of coffee. Really inexpensive here in the Philippines. Like this Copico Blanca, I can get this for 7 pesos each. So I can get 10 pieces for 70 pesos or about $1.50 for 10 cups of coffee. Edgar, good morning, Edgar. Hope everyone is doing well today. Before I get started, I just want to thank everyone for continuing to support our channel. Means a lot to Dazzle, Leanna, Mom, and I, your continued support. Always grateful that people watch our videos and tune into the live stream. I enjoy the live stream. That's why I keep doing them. I wouldn't be doing these live stream if I don't enjoy doing it. So thank you so much, everyone, for always tuning in. First thing is the weather. I always start the live streams with the weather because always interest in the weather here in the Philippines. And right now, there is no weather condition inside the PAR, P-A-R, the Philippine Area of Responsibility. No typhoons, no tropical depression, tropical cyclone, nothing like that. Actually been like super sunny, like bright and sunny again this morning. JP, hello. Good morning, JP. It is amazing actually because it's been a week of like all sunshine here in Aklan province. I do know like extreme northern Luzon, they're experiencing some rain, like in Batanes and Babuyan Islands. It says here, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers. Metro Manila and the rest of the country, it says partly cloudy with isolated rain showers. And this is just because of the Habagat. Habagat is the southwest monsoon. But here in Aklan, it feels like summer. It feels like summer here. It's like the last few days we've been reaching like in the 90s. Hot, like summer hot. Even during the day, yesterday, Dazzle was telling me, in our room upstairs, we have a small AC, and we had the AC on, and she said she felt warm in the room still. I mean, the AC was cold, blowing cold air, but it was just so hot. Actually, Mom and Leanna, they've been sleeping here downstairs on the floor. We have like cushions that they put. We have like a mat, foldable mat, but they haven't even been sleeping on their bunk bed because it's so hot in the room. They don't have AC in their room. We just have fans in the room. So they rather sleep here downstairs on the tile floor. But we have like foldable mats for them and pillows and things like that. So they're comfortable. Got the fan, ceiling fan, the desk fan. It's just hot. I mean, this is almost like summer weather we are having here. But we are expecting it to change. I was looking at the Pag-asa website. Looks like for the month of August, this month, they're predicting 2 to 3 typhoons coming. So actually, maybe as early as tomorrow, we might actually see some rain, or probably sometime during the week here, we're gonna get some rain here. Greetings and salutations, HD. You seem like you had more sunshine in the rainy season than during the summer. You had a lot of rain. Yes, Edgar, it's just unpredictable. That's the, people ask me all the time about the weather in the Philippines. It's just unpredictable. I mean, during the summer, I'm trying to recall, we did get rain, but just your typical like thunderstorm in the afternoon. It was still mostly sunshine, if I could remember. It's been March, April, May, man. It's been a couple of months now, but like this is to me, I can't remember like the end of July, beginning of August. I've never seen it like this. We're in the 90s temperature, sunny, like summer heat. Summer heat. That's why people are like they're not used to it. People are like, man, it feels like summer. But I know, it's like it could change. Like I said, this week can all of a sudden rain, and then we could have rain all week for or weeks or days, 7 days straight of rain. So it's just one of those things here in the Philippines. But I don't mind rain. I don't mind the sunshine. So, because we have AC. I'm comfortable as long as I can sleep. That's the main thing with me. I like to sleep at night, take my afternoon naps. As long as it's sunny for me, as long as it's cool, I don't mind. And then it's nice outside when it's sunny. I do prefer it, but when the rainy season comes, I don't mind that either. I like seeing the rain too. I guess because I've been here 14 years now, so I'm used to whatever weather we get here. And the thing I like about, I've mentioned it before, here in Western Visayas in Aklan province, we have like, even during the rainy season, I would consider mild rainy season. We don't get typhoons. We don't, there's certain areas, low-lying areas that flood, but it never floods in our subdivision, in our neighborhood in Numancia. Maybe closer to the bridge by Bulwang, they have flood there, but we don't suffer like, if you live like in northern Luzon, if you live in Bicol region, that region Bicol, if you live in eastern Visayas like Samar or Leyte, you get hammered with all the typhoons that pass through those areas. Today I wanted to talk real quick because I did that video of our plaza. So today I wanted to talk about a little bit about our life in Numancia. How it is, how living in our small town in Numancia. A lot different from what I'm used to. I lived in Los Angeles, I lived in Manila, I lived in San Antonio, Texas. Japan. I've always lived in big cities, so for me, it's quite a change. But I love it though. I love living the small town living now because for me, it's just more peaceful, relaxing, and to me, the people like in small towns, especially here in the provinces, I just find the people kinder. They're more humble. It's not the if you live in a city like LA or something like, or Manila, you see a lot of like keeping up with the Joneses thing. You see a lot of people driving nice cars, sports car. I had one, when I lived in Tucson, I had a Ford Mustang. But, you just don't see that in the province. Here, people ride motorbikes, people ride tricycle. It's like cars are actually less. There's more tricycles here than cars, as I always mention on our videos. But I'm just going to talk a little bit about Numanchia, Aklan, our small town of Numanchia, Aklan. One thing about our town here in Numancia, there is no nightlife here. If you're looking for nightlife, it ain't here. We do not have any nightclubs. I don't think we even have a bar. I've never heard about, unless, correct me if I'm wrong, Numancia peeps, but I've never seen a bar here in Numancia. Or it's just by the time it gets dark here, or by the time 8 p.m. hits, the whole town is pretty much dead. There's no, clubs, bars, no nightlife at all. We don't even have a traffic light. The whole entire town of Numancia, we do not have a single traffic light. As a matter of fact, I've not even seen a stop sign here. There's four-way intersections, many four-way intersections, but no stoplights, no stop signs. We just know how to maneuver the four-way intersection. Here in our town, you just kind of like ease in. You just kind of ease into the intersection. Look. I mean, and usually like by the main plaza area there, that's a lot of traffic in there, like that one intersection there. But everybody just kind of looks at each other. They don't really follow right away. There's really no right away. It's kind of like you either like if you raise your head, that means I'll go ahead. If I put my head down, it's me. It's my turn. So it's kind of like people just it takes some getting used to. I wasn't used to that when I first got here, but it works. It's like no traffic lights, no stop sign. Which amazes me. Which just amazes me because to me that was unheard of before I even moved to this small town. One thing nice is pretty much anywhere you live in Numancia, you're close to the beach. We got Navitas Beach from our house here. I think it's about 2.5 miles, not very far. But almost anywhere you live in Numancia, you're close to Navitas, Kamansi. I mean, there's several beaches. The whole town of Numancia is coastline. So everybody that lives here pretty much lives close to the beach. So we do get that nice cool breeze in the afternoon sometimes. There's days when it's breezy, even here at Camellia, Aklan. Our small town of Numancia surprisingly has a lot of population. I looked it up. Over 35,000 people. This was 2020 when they did the census. Because there's a lot of land area in Numancia. A lot of rice fields. I mean, if you drive around our town by the highway, back here going to Lezo, just a lot of rice fields. Actually, our subdivision, Camellia Aklan, this used to be rice fields here before they built this subdivision. We have no groceries in Numancia. Another thing that's pretty amazing, right? With no groceries. Mostly sari stores, 7-Eleven. We got 2 7-Eleven now, one right outside here. But no groceries like Save More, SM Cherry, Royal Gross Supermarket, nothing like that. All it is like the public market, and at the public market they do have like bigger like sari store, but it's still not a grocery. It's just like a bigger sari store where if you're buying in bulk, like a lot of the sari stores, they will buy their items like snacks, things like that at the public market. But most people, they'll buy it in Kalibo because the items that they sell in the sari store, mainly the sari stores here in Numancia, they're kind of like the hub of like activity in the different barangays. In the evening time, most of your sari stores here will have barbecue stand. That's a common dynamic here. The sari stores here, they serve beer all day. And same thing with 7-Eleven. They serve beer, alcohol all day. You can actually drink. If you're sitting by the sari store, usually they have a table or a bench. You can drink there any day. There's no liquor law or anything like that where you can't drink. As long as you're by the sari store, sitting down on the table. Same thing at 7-Eleven. As long as you're sitting by their bench and chair. I see people drinking there during the day, especially at night. Especially when they bring out the barbecue stand. They'll cook the pork sticks, the isaw, the chicken intestine, all that. You'll see the people drinking Red Horse, sitting there eating their barbecue steak and drinking some Red Horse. That's a popular activity here in the province. No fast food. We do not have any fast food here. We don't have McDonald's. We don't have Jollibee. We don't have Dunkin' Donuts. We do have in Numancia by our plaza. It's called Frank's. Frank's it's kind of like a stand. It's not a sit down restaurant. It's a cart, a big big stand, and they have like stools where you can sit on the stools. And what Frank's is popular for is like buy one take one burger, buy one take one hot dog, and you can usually get them, I mean, 39 pesos to 49 pesos for like two burgers or two hot dogs. Really inexpensive, you know. A lot of people always eating at Frank's, but they did open this past week. We finally got our first fast food restaurant in Numancia, and it's Andox. Right by the plaza, they open Andox. Andox is fried chicken, barbecue liempo, rotisserie chicken. They even have like pancit in there, chop suey, grilled bangus, different things. But it's fast food. Really good fast food though, reasonably priced. So we finally got our first fast food place in Numancia called Andox. The main transportation here in Numancia, the most vehicles you'll see here are motorcycles and then also tricycles. We actually don't have a jeepney. You know, I have not seen a jeepney that just says Numancia to Calibo. The jeepneys that pass through Numancia, they're usually coming from Aklan, Ibahay, Tangalan, or at least Makato to Calibo jeepney. But I have not seen Numancia to Calibo. Because Numancia and Calibo, they're just a border town. It's only a bridge that separates our town of Numancia to Calibo. So mostly tricycles. And then I see jeepneys that come through Malinaw, areas less so Malinaw. But again, no Numancia to Calibo jeepney. They're just passing through Numancia. Old style jeepney to here that you see here in the province. The jeepneys here are like, it's almost like a stretch jeepney, like long. I mean, these things are like, you can fit at least 20 people in the back, 10 people both sides. And they're like really like sturdy looking jeepneys, like almost like built like a tank, because they also use the roof of the jeepney for cargo and people. You'll see people and cargo on top of the jeepney here. That's still how it is here in Aklan province. Again, we're a province, you know. This is we don't have a lot of the rules in like the cities, you know. You probably won't see that in the city for safety reasons and stuff. But in the province, pretty much in the province, it seems like anything goes here. They're not, as far as rules aren't heavily enforced. You know, it's like you see open tricycles here. And when I say open tricycles, it's basically a motorbike with a sidecar, and the sidecar is just like open, like no roof, no chair, no bench. It's just open, and they use it to transport pigs, goats, sometimes a whole carabao or a cow. Sometimes they'll transport it. And then sometimes I even see this, if you can believe this, they will transport people in there, and the people are sitting in like plastic chairs. You know, the plastic chairs that you kind of just like for parties where you put the plastic chair, and it will be sitting right on the sidecar. No, you know, it's not bolted or anything. People, or sometimes they don't even have seats. People are just standing or sitting on like metal. You know, it's like, but that's how it is. They're not very strict here as far as like, if it can get on the road here in our Numancia, you know, they'll let you. You know, nobody's gonna stop you unless they have a checkpoint. If they have a checkpoint, then you gotta duck the checkpoint. Those vehicles, you know, you don't want to go through a checkpoint, you know, doing some illegal vehicle. I just had to take a sip. I had to take a sip of my coffee there. No jeepney, no pet. Okay. I have my notes here, that way I don't forget. And as far as restaurants, limited. We have limited restaurants here in Numancia. Ramboy's, pretty popular here in Aklan. Actually got franchise in Iloilo. There's now Ramboy's in Iloilo. The original, the main Ramboy's is here in Numancia. Ramboy's is like liempo. pork belly, big pork belly. They cook it like in a rotisserie and then they chop it. Really delicious. If you ever get a chance to try Ramboy's liempo, and then rotisserie chicken also. No movie theaters. No movie theaters here in Numancia. No movie theaters in Calibo. On mainland Aklan, basically, no movie theaters. The only movie theaters in Aklan is in Boracay Island. At City Mall, Boracay is the only movie theater. And there's only two movie theaters in City Mall, Boracay. The biggest thing that happens here, like I said, there's no nightlife, no clubbing, no bars that I know of here in Numancia. But the biggest thing that happens in Numancia, in our town, there are 17 barangays in Numancia. A lot actually surprised me that we had 17 barangays. Each of the barangays will hold a fiesta. Every year, there's a fiesta at each of the 17 barangays. Now, that's big. Fiesta here in our Numancia, that's a big event. Big event. Usually, like at our plaza, Poblacion, Numancia Poblacion, because it's in front of the mayor's office. The whole covered basketball court, kind of like a little auditorium. That is where they will hold baili. Baili here is a dance. It's almost kind of like a prom. You know, they decorate it. You know, there's usually like a live band, DJ, and a lot of drinking. Of course, is fiesta. You know, fiesta when they celebrate fiesta. There's pretty much drinking from the morning, nighttime, the whole time. There's fiesta, but the baili, it'll start like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and it'll go past midnight. They're just like partying. And kids can be there, teenagers, you could be the elderly, seniors, it doesn't matter. People are just having dancing, having a good time. You see everybody in the community. You see everybody in the barangay at the baili. And then again, it happens. There's 17 barangays, so they don't celebrate fiesta at the same time. So with the 17 barangays, so for the whole year, different times, so that, pretty much I would say every month there's a fiesta somewhere in Numancia. And people go there because, it's fiesta at Aliputos. It's fiesta in Dungon, Everybody goes to those fiestas. They'll have food booths. It's just a fun time for the fiesta. And the biggest fiesta, I think, one of the biggest anyway, in our town is April 28th. Because our town of Numancia is known for lechon. Lechon is like the whole roast pig. And out of all the municipalities in Aklan province, Numancia, we are known for lechon, the whole roast pig. So during our pig festival, it's a pig festival. It's like they have a parade and everything. You'll have like the lechon, a whole parade of lechon, people carrying the lechon in a bamboo, walking. They're all dressed up. They'll have motorcycles, motorbike, tricycles that they'll decorate with the lechon festival. So that's celebrated here in Numancia by our plaza on April 28th of every year. So that's a fun event. I'll have to film it the next time they have our lechon festival. But for me, I just enjoy like the small town living, because I never had that, In Manila, when I grew up in Quezon City till I moved to the US, and when I got to the US, I never got to experience that. The only time I experienced it was when I would vacation in the province with my relatives in Bulacan. But it's different when you actually live here the whole year. Now we've been living here in Numancia for 9 years, so it's different because you really get to know everybody. There's really a sense of community. I can go to the public market, I can go to 7-Eleven, I can go anywhere, Liana school, and you see people that you always say, hey, what's up? You always like wave, you always wave. But I like that, it's like people actually talk to each other. Like if I'm waiting for Leanna for school, like when I pick her up on Bumblebee, I'll be waiting there on my a bike. People actually approach, hey, what's up? You know, and then you start talking. Hi, you get to know people. I like that. You know, I didn't have that much when I was in the U.S. I remember when I was in the U.S., like even in Tucson, you know, you kind of you know, in your condo complex or whatever, you kind of see people and you kind of give them like the, oh, what's up, you know, but that's it, you know, you know, you could be living next door to a neighbor and you know, you guys don't really like talk much, but it's different here. Like our street here, on our street here, you've seen Kuya Rex, I've filmed this house, Ate V, we all know each other. We know each other, you know, the kids that my neighbor here, Lynn, and then her kids, Howard. So they all grew up, you know, when we moved in here, they were like, Howard was like 2, I think. Now it's like a teenager, you know, so it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to have that now. JP, I got my passport yesterday. It took, wow, congratulations, set for 10 years. That's it. That's right, JP. That's how mine was. I had to renew my passport. And I renewed my passport, US passport, in the mail. That's how I think I renewed mine like during the pandemic, actually. So maybe 3 years now, 4 years. All I did was you fill out, you print the form, you put your old passport, I think, and then mailed it to the U.S. Embassy. And I got it within 30 days. From I had to pay, I think I remember, I had to pay like a courier service delivery to my house, which was no big deal, you know. HD, hello. Ray, hey, my good friend, Sacramento, California. How are you doing, Ray? Oh, Ray, man, I saw your friend posted a picture on the Facebook. Ray and I are friends on Facebook. And I saw Ray like having like a Hawaiian shirt. He got the shaka going on. It's like, so cool, brother. I love seeing that. Ray is just a cool dude. The Philippines has 2 seasons, hot and wet. Yes, and sometimes it's wet, hot, you know, at the same time. You know, it's like I read the Philippines has summer and wet summer. That's probably accurate, JP. That's probably more accurate. It's like, because even during the rainy season, like even like during typhoon, like they can have a typhoon right now. 3-4 days, nothing but rain, right? Non-stop rain, 3-4 days. Then that 5th day, it'll be all sunshine. So that's why I tell people when they come, you know, when they're coming in through the rainy season or going to Boracay during the rainy season, it's just hit or miss. You know, it's just like you can't really predict the weather. You know, and I know people like that's going to Boracay. That's what, of course, you know, people want to experience Boracay, the island with the sunshine, so they're always checking the news, checking Pagasa, checking the weather. But it's just one of those things during the months of July to December, like you said, summer and wet summer. You know, it's like you know, unpredictable weather during those months. Gino, and all right, Fortune. I was chatting with Fortune this morning. We had a good chat regarding Kumon, Kumon. It's like Kumon is a program here in the Philippines. It's a private company. It helps kids with their education, and I've been researching Kumon for Liana, because I'm tutoring Liana right now with her math, with her English, but it's getting more advanced. You know, it's like I can handle algebra, I can handle maybe trig, but you know, the minute it starts getting more advanced math and advanced science, and then I figure, you know, it can't hurt her. You know, what Kumon is, it's like Fortune and I were talking. He's explaining it to me because he knows everything about it. His sister owns a Kumon center. So I was like, oh, great. I got like inside information from Fortune. Basically, Liana will still go to private school, you know, to the public school, Numancia Integrated School. But once a week, like on a Saturday, There's a Kumon Center in Calibo. I will take Leanna there, and it's focused tutoring on math. And Fortune was recommending I do the reading too, as for Leanna. So maybe we'll start with. I might start with one just to see maybe, but I might start with two, math and reading. Uh, uh, Usually they use the Kumon, and they're all over the Philippines, especially in Manila. They have those Kumon centers. They basically, a lot of times they use that to advance the kids. You know, like if they're not getting challenged in their school, to advance them to more higher math. Or sometimes they're getting behind in school. They use it to like speed their kid up. You know, just additional education. To me, it can't hurt. You know, that's what I figure. You know, it's like the more education I push on Leanna, I know it'll be beneficial to her in the future. Hello, Fortune. Hello. Good day, Edgar. All right, it's been a week of sun for us. I'm happy to hear that, Fortune. At least you guys are having a week of sunshine now after that, back-to-back typhoons that you guys got. And Fortune, he's in Bacoor. Bacoor, Cavite is for Fortune. He's working from home today, but sometimes during the week he'll have to go into the office in Manila. His wife is an ER doctor, over 20 years ER doctor in Manila. So Fortune is a great source, man. Fortune knows a lot of stuff. Not only medical, he's a banker. You know, it's like a banking, thing in the Philippines. Fortune, he's our guy. He's our connection. Wow, no karaoke bar with San Miguel beer. You know what? That is surprising, Ken. I have not seen a karaoke bar in Numancia, in our town. Like I said, maybe we're just so the town is just a sleepy town. Maybe it's like most people do the karaoke at home or at the sari-sari store. They'll do karaoke. I guess because we're really provincial. It's like if you open a karaoke bar, you might not get a lot of customers. Even the restaurants that open. I know there's another new restaurant that opened by the highway, I think called Pedro's. I noticed in Numancia when they open a restaurant, they don't last because I don't know what it is. Maybe people just don't like eating out or going out. People just do it at home because here it's just common. Like even here in our community in Camilla, Aklan, it's common for like the neighbors to like by their carport, they'll just put plastic chairs, sit there and start drinking beer and barbecuing. So maybe that's why. But it is interesting, right? That there's no karaoke bar. Because if we had to go karaoke, Dazzle and I, our family, we have to go to Calibo. We have to go to Calibo to experience karaoke bar. Fortune was seeing upcat parents sitting UP ground. I saw that too. I saw that on the news. Fortune, how everybody was taking that. Upcat is there's an entrance exam that's going on with the University of the Philippines here, all over the country. There's like Fortune was telling me, it's like over 100,000 kids trying to get into UP. UP is a University of the Philippines, the most prestigious school here in the Philippines. You got to be smart. I would compare it to the Harvard of the Philippines. They don't take. You got to be the cream of the crop. You got to be like the best of the best to get into University of the Philippines. Pretty much, if you get into the University of the Philippines when you graduate, you got a good career, job, and things lined up for you. It's like not easy to get into the University of the Philippines. Ooh, at least they got sunny right there. Fortune said last year they had torrential rain for the examinees. At least this year, good weather. The nightlife is rare, happening in the end of the week or weekend. It's called Bailihan. Yeah, I've heard the term baili. I've heard that term HD because of the fiesta. Every time Every time there's a fiesta, of course, the fiesta, it's all about the baile. You know, it's like everybody's like, you know, excited. Everybody's excited to go to the baile. And what's nice about the baile here in the province, here in Aklan, you don't gotta dress up. You know, it's not like one of those. Oh, there's a like a prom type that like a dance. You gotta like dress up. You know, wear your nice Sunday clothes or dress. You don't gotta dress up. You can go in there in your board shorts and flip flops, and you're good. You know, it's like that's why I like about it. It's like extremely casual, extremely casual. IJP for Bailey. You bid for boxes, and if you win, you get the box with the beer and chicken. Pulutan! I know. It's like they come up with those with at the baile. It's just so much fun. I've been to a couple of baile my time here in Numancia. It's just so much fun because you can tell people cut loose. You know, people cut loose. They just like. And a lot of times when you go to the baile, you know so many people there. It's just good to see people. The mayor, of course, will be there. All the politicians, you know, because the politicians, they're always kind of like shaking hands and politicking. You'll see them at the baile. And a lot of times the mayor and the councilors of our town, Numancia, or the barangay captain and all that, they sponsor a lot of the baile. You know, it's like, it's free. You know, it's like, us as residents of Numanchia, we don't gotta pay nothing. You know, it's kind of like a party sponsored by the politicians. You know, they're the ones that are like spending the money. You know, they'll like have lechon. You know, free lechon. It's just it's a way for them. You know, our mayor's good. You know, they got to think about the next election. They got to think about the next election. On one of your driving videos, I think that's trust the system, trust the process. That's always Dazzle. She says that trust the system or trust the process. Like the driving, the JP, the driving process. It's kind of like it's a lot of it's unwritten rules. You know, it's like. For me, you know, it's like, of course, I drove in the U.S., so everything you had to follow rules. You had to follow your lane. You got to, you know, double line. You know, so many rules that in your head that you got to, you know, that way you don't get a ticket, you know. Here, really, it's, they do have a driving test. They do have driving school here, and you do take a driving test at the LTO, the Land Transportation Office. But especially here in the province, all that kind of goes out the window. It's kind of like there's like unwritten rules of the road here when you're riding around, and you'll pick it up, JP, when you get here on your motorbike. You just gotta take it slow in the beginning, but you'll learn the nuances of driving here in the Philippines or riding your motorbike here in the Philippines. At least here in our province, JP, I can. Guarantee you'll enjoy riding your motorbike, especially once you're outside of Calibo. Calibo is like you've seen on our videos. You know, there's traffic there. There's traffic lights. You know, there's traffic lights in Calibo. But the minute you leave Calibo, once you cross over the bridge, the rest of Aklan province, you will not see a traffic light. You will not see a traffic sign. No, nothing. It's all like the highway, open road highway. You'll be when you're riding on your motorbike, you're gonna feel like easy rider back in the 70s because like you're gonna be riding through like rice fields and ocean view, mountain view. You know, it's like open space on the highways here. You will enjoy riding your motorcycle here. Fruitful past week for Gino. Yes, yeah. Well, I'm not done yet. You know, it was fruitful fortune. I got the plate, but you know, we got denied to renew our registration. So we're gonna do that today after the live stream here when Dazzle wakes up. We're gonna go to. So we should be good now. I got all the paperwork now. You know, the license plate, the title's got the new plate number on it. They white it out, put the new. So now we just gotta go to get the Bumblebee, our tricycle, get it inspected. And it's one center. We already went there to Pook by Lambingan Beach in Calibo. It's one place where you do the emission testing. They test all the motorcycle, like lights, horns, make sure everything works on the motorbike. Insurance, I have to buy insurance for the year. I gotta buy insurance for the year. And then there's a LTO satellite office there, but they only do vehicle renewal registration. They don't do driver's license or license plates at the satellite office. So we'll head there once the live stream is done, and then when Dazzle's awake. But it was fruitful, very fruitful, Fortune. I was really happy to get that license plate after 9 years, man. 9 years of waiting on that license plate. Ken, that's cool. You can drink anytime. Yes, you can. But the only place I would be careful drinking during the day or walking would be in Calibo, because Calibo is kind of like, it's not a city, but it's still like they have a more like they call them Calibo Auxiliary Police. They're not really police, but they're like auxiliary. Like they'll wear like a T-shirt that says CAP, KAP, in the back, so you know they're assisting the police in Calibo. So, and they're pretty strict. They check parking, they check people drinking to keep the peace, in Calibo. At sari-sari, yes, beer at sari-sari stores, any sari-sari stores in the here in Aklan anyway, you can drink. I see people drinking Red Horse there before noontime. That is a common activity. Usually, like I said, there's a table, there's chairs, sometimes a long bench, and people just kind of lean back there having their Red Horse. HD, yes, Jollibee and McDonald's there in Calibo. We have two McDonald's, and then how many? Three, I think four Jollibee, 2 McDonald's, and 4 Dunkin' Donuts. You know, they love Dunkin' Donuts here. They love Dunkin' Donuts in Calibo, but 0 in our town of Numancia. We don't have any of that. We have to go to Calibo. Calibo's not far from us. From our house here is 3 miles. From my house to the bridge is 3 miles. Not far. 5 kilometers, 3 miles. That's not far at all. Daniel, hey, hello, howdy to the Panay Posse. All right. And I'll work on our Panay Posse this shirt. We'll take care of the renewal on Bumblebee today, and maybe on the way back, we'll stop by the t-shirt places at Calibo. We got the design, so I got it on a USB. So I just got to show it and have them print it. And they have several t-shirts there, different colors, different sizes. So I'll get them made. Dazzle wants one too. Dazzle wants one. Edgar, you can buy hard liquor at the 7-Eleven. Believe I saw. Yes, you can buy, not just the local Tanduay, Emperador. You can buy like American, like imported. There's some fancy liquor at 7-Eleven, and you can drink it there. That's the beauty of it. You can buy the liquor at 7-Eleven here. They have a bench there, a bench and table. Sit there and drink it. Like get a plastic cup from the counter, put ice, and you can drink your liquor there. People do it all the time here in Numanchia. But we only have 2. We have the one 7-Eleven is tiny. They don't even have the benches. That's why the one outside Camellia is like perfect, because they got the benches, the tables. When it gets dark at sunset or about 7 p.m., there's people. Those tables are full, both outside and inside. They actually put inside the 7-Eleven with the air conditioning, and then outside. It's almost kind of like like a restaurant almost. It feels like, because you can go there, you can get snacks. They have food. They got like rice. You got rice bowls with adobo, rice bowls with beefsteak. All kinds of stuff. You can sit there, eat, drink. It's like, it almost feels like a restaurant. JP, I had chicken intestine tacos one time, but only because the cook was good. The cook was gorgeous. I've eaten, I've eaten I like isaw. I like isaw, JP. But when I get isaw, the chicken intestine, I always like them to like really cook it. It's like usually after they're done cooking it, I said I want mine well done. So they get handed to me, and I look up. Cook it well done. I like it like I actually like it. Kind of like seared on the outside. Not burnt, but like really toasted. Really toasted on the isaw. Daniel, all right, hello. Fresh aloha, all right, fresh aloha. Good morning, my brother. Good morning, my brother. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Thank you so much. I just want to go over my notes, make sure I hit all the notes there regarding Numancia. Oh, last night I was going to tell you a story. It was like, I don't know what time it is because I was already sleeping. Dazzle woke me up because I usually go to bed by 8 p.m. I eat dinner like at 5:30. By 8 p.m. I'm asleep already. And she woke me up last night. So I don't know what time it is. I don't have a watch. So I don't know what time it was. But she said, babe, I need to, I can't close the hood of the car. And I'm like, what were you doing with the hood of the car? I was like, what were you like? What had happened was, I guess, they were watching TV here. And they could hear like somebody outside by our car. Like some guy with a flashlight and his wife. And so they, Dazzle went out there, Mom went out there, and Leanna went out there. And then what it was, this couple, I guess they lived like, we were on block number 8, but they lived like 2 blocks away, block 10. They were looking for their cat. I guess their cat's been gone for like a day, like 24 hours. And what had happened, the lady told Dazzle that the cat got chased, but there was a dog that got away, something like that, and the cat freaked the cat out. The dog chased their cat, and their cat ran, and they couldn't catch their cat. They didn't know where their cat went, so they've been looking for their cat for like a day, and you can tell like when Dazzle told me when the lady found the cat, she was crying, and I can relate to that, because I'm a pet lover, Totoy and Chloe, if anything happens to them, I know I'd be crying if something happens to them. So what the cat had done, I guess, was hiding inside the hood, inside my engine or our car, because we park our car outside on the street. So it's been hiding there for a day. Good thing I didn't drive the car yesterday, because like, yesterday was Sunday, and I just felt like, I told Dazzle yesterday, today's day off day, I'm not doing anything. I didn't do a live stream yesterday. It was a total relaxed day for me. I didn't even edit any videos yesterday, didn't do anything, didn't film. Basically, it was like a lazy day for me yesterday. But so that's the gentleman, the husband, Dazzle don't know how to pop the hood, It's like I always am the one popping the hood. It kind of sticks, And then when you pop the hood on the Wigo, it pops it, but it's still not open. You gotta reach in underneath. There's a latch so you lift it up. So the husband did that, opened the hood, and sure enough, the cat was in my engine. The cat was sitting on my engine. So the lady was so she's crying. She's like super happy to see her cat, but and then they left, and then Dazzle said, she couldn't close the hood. That's why she woke me up. But happy ending. At least my neighbor from two streets down found their cat. Fortune, they just drink tanduay at home. Yes. Here in Fortune, in our province, they called tanduay, they call it duay. That's kind of like the slang. Hey, duay time. Duay. Very common. Because I guess that's why there's no bars, no karaoke bars, because that would be an extra expense, That would be like a bar would charge you more for liquor. It's just so common here, like you said, Fortune. People just get a bottle of duwai for like 70, 80 pesos, $1.50 for a whole bottle, and just pop it anywhere. You know, like by the garage, by the sari-sari store, by 7-Eleven. You can just pop it and just like have drinks with your friends. So JP had some food with the spice of hot chick, hot chick on the side, hot chick on the side. And your tanduay, is that the coconut homemade? No, no. Well, actually, Edgar, tanduay is rum. It's kind of like the dark color rum, that's very popular. It comes in a bottle, like a liter bottle, and then like the pint. It comes to the pint, like people put it in a brown bag. But here they don't even put it in a brown bag. They can just sip your tanduay here. But they do have that used to be my favorite. I used to drink it. It was Boracay rum made by tanduay. And it was white bottle. It's a white bottle, Boracay rum made by tanduay, coconut flavor. And I think they had I've always just drank the coconut flavor, but I think they have a coffee flavor and other flavor of that Boracay rum. Delicious. It reminded me, that was my drink when I was still drinking. The Boracay rum, and I put like pineapple juice, ice. I put ice, half Boracay rum, then half pineapple juice. It reminded me of like a pina colada, and because you got the coconut rum and then pineapple. It tasted like Malibu, a little bit like Malibu. In some small towns where there are no hot women around, the men go to the bars and drink until they become hot. That's funny. Like I said, HC, we don't have in Numancia. Even in Calibo, I know they have bars. I know they have a overtime disco. They imagine that HD, they call it overtime disco. I'm like, disco? I thought disco went out, way back then, but they still have an overtime disco. And then they have bars. They have resto bars. Resto bars are popular. Restaurants/bars are popular in Calibo, but not in our town. Not in our Numanchia. It's just not popular. And GP, is it the same as tubo? Tuba. Tuba is what you're talking about, JP. Tuba is the sap. The sap of like palm sap is what they call it, like coconut sap. And they harvest it. They put like a little container. The sap drips to it, and they make it into like a wine, kind of like a sap wine, coconut. Tuba is what it's called. I've tasted it before. Actually, I've tasted it a couple of times. It's different every time I've tasted it. It just depends on who makes it. I guess maybe the mixture that they it's like a house wine, like a homemade wine. I've tasted it before. It's just okay for me. I wasn't too impressed with the tuba. JP, beer goggles are universal. Beer goggles? What's a beer goggles? I don't know what a beer goggles. JP. I'll have to Google it. Then beer goggles are universal. Daniel, all right, Daniel said, just saw a video of 4 men on a scooter with 30 pig in the middle. LOL. I know. I mean, you will see. You will see that. I mean, I see that's a normal occurrence here, Daniel, in our province. Here in our town of Numancia, that is normal to see a pig and a person, a person and a pig riding side by side. That is common. That is common here. That is the other day. I was picking up Liena, and Dazzle was with me, and this lady was picking up kids, and she was picking up, I don't know if it was her kids or not, but it was a single motorbike, and she was riding. She put one kid in front of her, like the kid was like on her lap almost, one, and then there was three kids behind her, and then there was another, not a kid, but like a teenager at the very end. So six people on one single motorbike. I was like, are they gonna be okay? Because the last person, the teenager, he's already sitting. He's not even sitting on a cushion. He was sitting on like a metal on the back, like it looks like a metal carrier in the back. So he was the man. That would, I was like, when I would look at it, man, I said, man, I hope they don't hit any bump. That would hurt. He's sitting on metal. He's sitting on a. But you see stuff like that in the province. Like I said, safety rules and things like that, they're not really strict. They're not really strict here in the province, here in Numancia. Because most of Numancia is still farming town. So in the farming town, in the rice fields, it's like anything goes. If a vehicle of anything motorized is moving, it can be on the road. Yeah. They're not going to give them a hard time about being on the road. In the Navy, we just waited until the deployment goggles kicked in. Deployment goggles kicked in. After a month into the deployment, the women starts looking better and better until they start looking better and better. That's funny. That's funny, HD. Edgar, you drank too much if you wake up and you have to chew off your own arm. So that's one. Gino, what type of root beer does the Philippines have? Oh, they got all. I like root beer. I'm a fan of root beer, so I know about root beer. There's a Dad's root beer here, America. I think they come from Dad's. A&W root beer, of course, and then they have a local beer, RC. RC is the name, and then the old one that I like is Sarsi. It's called Sarsi. It's called Sarsaparilla, but it reminds me of root beer. They don't call it root beer, but that's why I always like root beer, because of Sarsi, and that's still around. If you like root beer, you won't have a problem. They actually, at one time, Daniel, they had an A&W restaurant here in Angeles City and in Manila. I don't know if they still exist, but at one time they did have A&W, the root beer restaurant. Edgar, don't forget that you have to go do that walk of shame, Aaron. The walk of shame. Oh, Ray, there you go, Ray. Baili in Visayas means dance. Yes, Ray. I learned that from attending it. It's like everybody's like Baili. It's like, okay, so dance. The Baili is the dance. I mean, it's a fun time. Here in our neighborhood, in our community, when they have a baili, it's a big deal. It's a big deal here. Small town living, Ray. It's like people get excited about the smallest things here. But I think that's so cool, because it's the way it should be. People should celebrate the little things, I think. It's like, sometimes people to forget how to have fun. Just to have fun. Just, nothing wrong with just having fun. I don't want to be called chick boy. Chick boy! They do it. I hear that word here, Edgar. Chick boy. Yes, that's correct. Chick boy. I've heard that word here, Edgar. That's somebody that's a playboy that has a lot of girlfriends. Chick boy. I agree. Small town gossip. Oh yeah, that's the one thing. Even here in our neighborhood at Camellia Aklan, it's like we have a few marites. Marites is the word that marites, the chismis, chismosa. Those are the words that you'll hear here. Marites is like the person that likes to spread gossip. That's common anywhere in the Philippines. People like to talk gossip here. Edgar, how about being called Deuce Bigelow? Oh, I remember that movie, Deuce Bigelow. That was, who was the actor in that? Isn't that the Filipino, kind of like looking Filipino, Rob Schneider? I forgot the name, but I remember that Deuce Bigelow. That was a good movie. HD, I don't think I ever have to worry about that. Hey, Michael C., my good friend, Interese Martires, Cavite. Hope the weekend was great with you guys. We are dry here. All right, everybody is dry. Nice. Nice to hear that everybody is dry. After that week of rain, right, Michael? It's nice to be sunshine weather. I had a great day. Yesterday was kind of like a lazy day. I did not do anything but take a long nap. long nap. I didn't do YouTube. I took a break. I took a break from YouTube. Sometimes I have to do that. Sometimes I've learned like there's sometimes you just gotta like not worry, not think about doing a video, making a video and all that. So it was nice. It was a lazy day all day for me yesterday. Hey, all right, Mom Janet. Hey, Gino, watch replay on your birthday and shorts. Really enjoyed. Oh, thank you, Mom Janet. I'm glad you enjoyed the content. Hope you're doing well. Hope no health issues. Hopefully everything's. OB, my good friend from Columbia, South Carolina. Good. Aliyah, his wife Aliyah, and Isaiah. It's Sunday there, so Isaiah should be available, right? He shouldn't be in school. Plus, I think it's summer vacation anyway in the U.S. because it's August. I remember school started September for me anyway at Long Beach, Wilson High when I went to high school in Long Beach, California. So it's summer in the U.S. Top of the morning to ya. Oh, thank you so much. You already gave me a birthday present, Mom Jan. But thank you so much. It's much appreciated, Mom Janet. Hello, Obi and Janet. All right, thanks. Yeah. Skating Geezer, my good friend in Ormoc. And viewers, after 2+ years in Ormoc, I broke down and bought a small aircon. So you waited 2 years, brother. Man, you're resilient, man. I wouldn't last 2 years, man. I think a week. I didn't last a week. I bought, aircon is important to me. I can't sleep when it's hot, man. It's hard for me to sleep. I sweat so much anyway. But I had to have aircon. That's one of the things. I have to have aircon. Imperial, yeah, Imperial. We have Imperial too. Imperial, like Imperial Appliances store in Calibo. We have that too. Has 25 off on most of their appliances. Not endorsement. Just info, not an endorsement. Yeah, they do. The two companies that are competing in Calibo is Imperial Appliances, and then MCore. MCore is the other company. And they always do specials. They always discounts. And that's one thing I was gonna tell you guys. When you go to appliance stores here, like Imperial or MCore, always ask for a discount. Always ask for a cash discount. Because chances are they have a discount, especially if you're paying cash. Always ask, even if it's 10%, even if it's 5%. There's a discount. There's a discount when you go to those appliance stores, especially furniture stores. Whatever they put the price, there's always a discount on those. So you can always negotiate, or you always bargain them down. You don't have to pay the sticker price for appliances and furniture. And it doesn't hurt if you ask, is there a discount? Even when I go to Gran Gaisano at the mall, if I go, it's like even when I go, I always says, is there a discount for cash? Because what are they gonna? The worst thing they'll tell you, oh no discount, sir. So I'm good. If they say no discount, but a lot of times it surprises me. They go, yes, we have 10% discount. Yes, I was like, all right. It's like. Yes, thank you, Fortune. Tanduay is ram. Coconut sap is the tuba. Coconut sap. Passing through. God bless, Mom Janet. God bless, Mom Janet. A pleasure. Oh, thank you, Mom Janet. So kind. You're always so kind. Yeah, you always touch my heart, Mom Janet. I appreciate it. I truly appreciate it, because you know what I've been through. It's like we have like that bond, with our medical stuff. It's like we just persevere, right? We just persevere no matter what. It's like I always tell people that, it's like when you get diagnosed, when something medical happens or anything like that, just persevere. It's like look at the positive. Always like look forward. Think positive. It's like I always just try to do everything in a positive light. One thing I have learned is like I surround myself with positive people. If there's negative people around, around me, I just break off from it. I do not have a problem, telling someone that I'm sorry, but I can't be your friend because you're too negative. I do not have a problem saying that because like I have just learned that the more I surround myself with good, positive people, the happier I am. When there's people that come into your life, unfortunately, I know we all experience it. I know there's people that come into your life that has that negative vibe, always negative, always, I have just learned to walk away from those people. I mean, I don't wish them anything harm. I pray for them. I say, hey, I just can't be your friend because, it's like, it will drag you down. When you got people like that, it's like, unfortunately, it's like, it'll bring you down. It's like, even on my Facebook, I remove people that are like doing negative things on Facebook or sharing negative stuff on Facebook. I will unfriend them. I will unfollow them, or I would do that because I don't want to see that, right? It's like when I open my Facebook, I see happy people. That's all I want to see on my Facebook. I see James and Karen's adventures. It's like I love watching them. I see my guy, my friend Belus in Wyoming. I see like Putty, my friend. I love seeing people having good lives. Enjoying their lives, sharing the beauty of the world. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see somebody like crying about something on Facebook, complaining about their life or complaining about things that they see. Unfortunately, when that stuff happens, when I see that, I kind of like move away from that. I remove that. I remove negativity in my life because life is too short. Life is to be enjoyed. I want to be around happy people, positive people. I want to spread the joy. It's like I do not want to be spreading negativity or anything like that. I don't want to be around that. Oh, Olsen, amen. Thank you. So kind, brother. Appreciate that, my brother. Listening in, HD. Same here, occasionally checking the chat. All right, HD. Do people get in trouble there for not following the traffic lights? In Kalibo, they have traffic lights, but I have not seen anybody get in trouble. Just because in Kalibo, rarely do you even see a cop, like an actual police in police uniform. It's always they're called CAP, like I said, KAP, Kalibo Auxiliary Police. And usually with the auxiliary police, this is what I've learned. If they stop you or anything, they'll just warn you. And if you're polite, if you say, hey sir, what did I do? I'm sorry, I apologize, I wasn't paying it. If you're like that, not a problem. Not, they'll just like, I just saw you make this move, or, you came out of this, and just warning, don't do again. Usually that's the case. But if you come out combative to them, of course, when you come combative, like, what did I do? So I didn't do anything. If you come out like that, of course, it might not go well. They might call the radio and say, call a cop, to mediate. The cops might all of a sudden show up. I've just learned here in the Philippines, if you're kind, humble, if you respect people, I've never been in trouble. I've been here 14 years, never been stopped by the police, because I'm always polite to everybody. It's like if a Kalibo Auxiliary Police, if like waves me, I stop and then I follow, I just follow what they're saying. Like, it's like no need to be like, get mad at them. They're just doing their job, But to me, the auxiliary police, the police, they're just doing their job. Their job is to protect people. So why be mad at them if they You know, you haven't gotten a ticket yet. You know, it's like, and I've never seen a ticket here. I've never seen a friends of mine get a ticket. Usually, like, just warning. You'll get a warning. Peanut butter travels, $5.99 for 10 packets. So, ooh, that's 60 cents. Seafood City, all right, Houston. Houston is where my sister lives. My Ate Jude. My ate's birthday is July 31st and mine is August 1st. So we always kind of, growing up, we celebrated our birthday together because it's like next, you know, it's like one day apart, you know. And I always, you know, I just love her. My sister's 10 years older than me. She acted more like the mom, you know, for me growing up. My sister always took good care of me and still does. My sister always, you know, we always check up on each other. You know, I just love my sister. Sergeant USA, salute. I watched the video of getting your plates. I paid attention to your comments on health and wearing a mask. Chicago, #1 in the world for poor air quality. Inspired me to eat. Oh, all right. Here at least, Mom Janet, here in our Aklan province, our air is good. You know, we don't have an issue with air, the air quality, because you know, we have beaches, a lot of open space, a lot of rice field trees. Usually the air quality suffers, like if you're in Metro Manila. I know they got a smog problem in Metro Manila. You know, if you got asthma or anything like that, Metro Manila could be hard on a person if you have asthma or any lung condition. Fortune Fiesta, you can practically eat from how. Yes, I have done that. Fortune here in Calibo, we've done that. Here in Numancia, you can go house to house. We know, like usually when it's Fiesta, we already have a list of people that invite us. Like I think the last time I did it was Dazzle didn't go. It was just Leanna and I. But we went to like 3 different houses because, you know. But after a while, you know, after 2-3 houses, you're full. You know, you don't want to eat anymore. It's open and they just invite people to eat. Yes. That's how it is here in the province. It's celebrated as Thanksgiving for the patron saint. Correct. They have a procession, like a procession. They have like their patron saint. They'll put it in a like a cart. You know, like they'll walk with a patron saint, and then the devotees will follow. And usually they'll go to the church and they'll bless their patron saint. Common activity here that you see in the province. Happens every month. Mr. Donut, you like Mr. Donut? I'm not big on donuts. Even Dunkin' Donuts, even like Jayco Donut, Dazzle and Leanna, they love Jayco Donuts in Iloilo City. I've never was a big donut fan. I like the I guess I'm boring when it comes to donut. I like Krispy Kreme glaze, you know, and I can still eat that in Iloilo City. I can order a Krispy Kreme glazed donut. I don't like all the stuff that, you know, they put all kinds of like crinkles and all that stuff on a donut, you know, but I have tried Mr. Donut though. Actually, they have it at 7-Eleven. I can go to 7-Eleven right now. They have the Bavarian, the cream inside, the jelly inside. Now I'll eat that. I would eat the one with the custard cream inside. I would eat that. The Bavarian Mr. Donut. But it's not a big thing, you know. It's like if I eat it once in a while, I don't mind it. But you know. Thank you. Woo! Aishi, I got an issue. My yucca plant is roots killing my yard. What do I use to dig it up? All right. You're asking the experts here, Mom Janet. They should be able to help you. It is a rooted plant. Do I need a root? I don't know that much about digging up yucca plants. I'm sorry, Lamarchin. Good. Sorry, Ken. Yeah, mom is like, but yucca plant. I'll have to look that up, Mom Jan, because I don't think that's a common plant here in the Philippines. A yucca plant. I eat my shrimp head on. Yeah, the sweetest part. If you're talking about cassava, then you can just dig it up with hands to get the roots. From AI to get, you start by cutting the plant down on its base, then dig a trench around the base, about 3 feet. Woo, that's 3 feet. That's pretty deep. That's pretty deep. 3 feet's pretty deep. OB Olson, I remember going to a fiesta in 2018. I walked 2 blocks and took me 5 hours. 5 hours. I kept getting invited into houses to eat and have a drink. I had a hard time saying no. So I was, you were plastered. That's what happens, right? That's what happens because the last Atiatihan here. Atiatihan is the same. OB like in Calibo. It's in January. The fiesta is 10 days long in Calibo at the Atihan Festival, but basically it's a fiesta for 10 days. And it's the same thing every day. You can go to different people's houses, but the main day is the last day, that's Sunday. Everybody opens their house, lechon, like you said, it's like you'll be stuffed. You'll be stuffed. And then people keep offering you drinks. And even at Adetetihan, it's like you're walking, you're doing sad, you're dancing on the street. People are handing you like tanduay, emperador, taking shots. But I don't drink anymore, so I don't indulge anymore. But I still have fun. I still do the sad, I still do the dance. I eat people's food, but no more drinking as far as me. For the extensive root system, carefully pry the roots out. Fortune, Kumon is also in the US, started by, okay. I do remember that. Actually, Fortune, I do remember that. I've heard Kumon even in the United States. I do remember that. HD, these roots are from 20 years. Those roots probably are long, man. We tried a saw, no luck. It's causing humps in my lawn. Yeah, that's why here in our community, Mom Janet, they don't allow us to plant like fruit trees like mango. Yeah, there's not a single, it's hard to go anywhere in the Philippines, especially in the province, without a mango tree. But they don't let people here in the subdivision plant a mango tree. Trees or fruit trees that have long roots, because it could be a problem with the pipe system here, the sewage system. So they're very strict. Our HOA is very. Speaking of our HOA, we had the elections last Saturday, and we elected 5 new board members to our HOA. I'm really optimistic because our HOA kind of got divided, it's like with the last group, but I'm feeling good about the 5 that got elected. And I think, looking at their campaign, they had like a poster campaign, their planned projects for the community. I like it. They all, like I said on the previous live stream, these 5 are like the best of the best. If these 5 people can't fix the problems that we have on our HOA, then we're sunk. It's like, because these are the best people that we got in our community. Hopefully, people in our community realize that these people aren't doing it for the money. There's no paycheck on becoming a board member. They're doing this, on the goodness of their heart. They're doing this because they want to improve our community. So hopefully, people would just support them, and hopefully we get more people paying their HOA dues. That's the big help. That's the biggest thing. It's like for people to pay their HOA dues. Ray, we used to call Tanduay TDY. TDY, when I was stationed at Clark Air Base, TDY. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's funny. That's funny, Ray. It would make sense that it's TDY time. It's TDY time. TDY time. When I was at Clark during my years, Ray, it was mostly San Miguel Pilsen. I don't remember Tanduay being, I guess that, I was hanging out more with the Americans, American GIs, the military. So most of the American GIs, they want beer and they want that Pilsen. I don't remember many of them drinking Tanduay. Most Filipinos, Tanduay is the rum. Tanduay is the rum is that's the Filipino drink. Most of the American military that were at Clark, they loved San Miguel Pilsen. Fortune, we tried prying today, then we use a saw, but it doesn't help. The root is encased with the protect. Ooh, man. Like you said though, Mom Janet, for 20 years, that's like, I'm sure that's like really long, strong roots in there by now. You can cook and eat the roots. It's called kasaba. Kasaba. I've had that, HD. I love kasaba cake. Freshly baked kasaba cake. On the topping, kind of like a sweet something on the top. Sometimes they put like makapuno on top, like the coconut, like sweet coconut on top with a coconut, the pulp, the coconut pulp, the inside of the coconut, cooked in like a syrup, sugar syrup. They put that on top of the kasaba cake. Man, that's delicious. I've got to look for some now. You got me thinking kasaba cake. You got me thinking about kasaba, HD. I don't know what yuca you have. If it's ever kind, it'll be a lot of work to get it out if you want to get rid of it. In the last live stream towards the end, Gino mentioned about BDO, yes. I worked there for 8 years. It's the Philippines' #1 with 100 billion in assets. Wow. I bet, man. I could see that. I could see that, Fortune, because you see BDO banks everywhere, at the mall, even in Calibo. I mean, shoot, we have like, I think six BDO banks in Calibo, man. If we even have a BDO now in Numancia, I have an ATM machine now here in Numancia that's BDO, my bank. So it's spreading, BDO. It's like, when I first got to the Philippines, I noticed more Bank of Philippine Islands. I used to have an account. My first bank account in the Philippines was a Bank of Philippine Islands in Boracay. But I ended up closing it because like their ATM machine never worked, in Boracay. I was like, what is this? Every time I went to the bank, their ATM machine wasn't working. So I said, forget it. It's like, I'm closing the account. I went to the inside and I said, I'm closing my account. I'm switching banks. And then the person at the teller, she goes, why are you closing your account, sir? Is there a problem with the business? I said, your ATM never works. So I'm closing the account. So they let me close the account. It's owned by the C family of the SM Empire. Ooh, I didn't know that, Fortune, that SM and BDO are connected. Thank you. I did not know that. Lucita, my good friend in Maine. Hello, Lucita. Good morning to you and family. Hope everyone's doing great. Leanna took her to school. Today's Monday, so it's Leanna's cleaner's day. So I actually dropped her off at school earlier. That's why I was able to start the live stream earlier today. I dropped her off at 6:45 because she has cleaners. She has to clean the classroom. She's in charge of her cleaners group. And then they have flag ceremony on Mondays at 7:30. Busy day for Leanna to start the day on Mondays. Guys, good vibes today. Thank you. You always send me good vibes, Lucita. I love getting your messages to me through Messenger. I appreciate it. That's I always heart it. I always like reply back because sometimes little things like that. I think people, need to do more of that, right? It's like I love getting messages from people. Hey, good morning, brother. It's like heart. It's like. I love getting. I think we need more spread the joy, spread the joy instead of being negative. And I don't like it when friends of mine keep sharing like political stuff, videos about politics, and it's like I usually don't say nothing. I just don't even like it or anything. I'm hoping they can get the hint that I don't really enjoy seeing that. I rather receive a message from people saying, "Hey, good morning, Gino. Hope you have a good day. Take care, my friend." I rather see messages like that than you keep sending me nonstop political videos. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. So why do people keep sending that stuff? Fortune, yes, I got parts out, but saw new growth attaching on it. I'm going to try Roundup to kill the root. I drilled deep. Yeah, that looks like a lot. It looks like probably you need like a tree removal, people, Mom Janet. Because sometimes, there's only so much you can do, like do it yourself. Sometimes you gotta get the big guns, get the professionals to get that out. Gino, you have any plans for your 6-0? Yes. Yeah, I already told Dazzle that. I think where Dazzle had her karaoke party, that room, I'm gonna reserve that room, the whole room there for my 60th birthday. So, and of course, Daniel, Panay Posse, of course, you all are invited to my 60th birthday next year. And before that, we'll do the Panay Posse at the Canadian Beaver in Rojas. We'll do that. That's before my birthday. So that's 2 events that to look forward to next year. Oh, I won't forget. I won't forget that. That's why I'm saying I'm already announcing that same venue where Dazzle had her 30th birthday, I'll reserve that for my 60th birthday, and we're gonna sing karaoke all night. We're gonna have a good time. HD, Karen drank some tuba when she was still a kid. That's common, right, HD? I remember drinking beer when I was a kid. My uncles would like make me drink like whatever they were drinking, and it was kind of a big deal. I remember, like, I think I was like 10. And of course, like, I'm like looking at my uncles. They're kind of like my heroes. They're like, you kind of like hanging out with adults, and they used to like make us like get pulutan. We're like the runners. As kids, we were like the runners, and we were happy to do it because we get to hang out with the adults. And then I remember HD. My uncles would even ask me to buy the tanduay from the store. They're like, run to the store, get us a couple more bottles, and I would run. They give me money. I go to the sari store, buy the tanduay, and I'm coming back with the tanduay. It's like, to me that was fun because like I felt like an adult. I felt like hanging with an adult. And of course, my uncles were like, "Hey, here you go. Give me a shot," and I'd be like, "Oh man, what is this thing?" But to me, hanging out with the adults was kind of like I remember it. My uncle's like, it's kind of like a rite of passage, I think, for most Filipino kids, is to hang out with their uncle, and then their uncle giving them some liquor. I know we can't do that in the U.S. because that's like giving liquor to a child. That would be like, oh no, it's like, that would be the end of the world in the U.S. That would be like, I go to jail for that. That's like, what is that? Child abuse in the U.S. So we can't do that in the U.S. But here in the Philippines, I mean, you still see that now. If there's like a Filipino party with family, the uncles will still give the kids beer. It's like it's kind of like a rite of passage here in the Philippines. SM owns the SM Cherry. Save More, SM. Man, they just own a lot of things. China Bank. Oh, China Bank too? Man, I didn't know they own China. Man, they really own a lot of things. I know they're rich. Fortune. SM, man, they own a lot. I know SM and San Miguel. I know those 2 corporations, man, they just own a lot of things here in the Philippines. Tuba can become vinegar. Yeah, I've seen plenty of that. Along the highway in Numancia, plenty of people bottles like vinegar. They sell the vinegars. like homemade. It looks like homemade vinegar. I'll take to the nursery to see. Yeah, yeah, nursery. Thanks. All right. We have to wait for 3 months to open a checking account. Yes, yes. It's not really checking. I guess you can. You can open a checking savings ATM. Get you know. I do know that sometimes there's condominiums. Most of them are like the big condominiums in Manila. When you sign a lease with them, they're really particular in Manila. It's hard, you know. Here in the province, you'll never have to. I've never signed a lease here for or the places I live. I've had like 3 apartments here in Panay Island. Never signed a lease, month to month. I always rented month to month. But I know in Manila, the condos there, because they're big condos, you know, 50,000, 60,000 peso condo, they actually make you write a post-dated check. They want to make sure they got their money. You know, it's like, so if you sign like a 1-year lease, you might have to write a check from like January to December, post-date, and the landlord's holding those checks. Because, you know, they want to make sure they're getting their money, you know, and, you know, it's like, it's business. So, but so that would be the only time I would think you would need a checking, because I don't see many people walking around with checkbooks anymore. I don't see, or writing checks. That's the only incident where I could see somebody writing a check here. Would be condos in Manila, long term like that. Gino, beer goggles. Ooh, all right. Thanks, HD. You're educating me on beer goggles. Are what you're wearing after drinking enough alcohol to make ugly. Like a beer. I've never, you know, that's a new term for me. Surprisingly, man, I used to drink a lot of beer, HD, but that's a new term for me. Beer goggles. What you wearing? That's funny. Now I know. Daniel, the pig was tied up upside down and between 4 guys. Yes, you see that. You know, they'll tie the pig up sometimes in a bamboo, kind of, you know, upside down. You know, I mean, it's you know, sometimes it's kind of horrible to see because, like, man, you know, the pigs are really treated like, you know, they're just meat. You know, they don't, you know. Unfortunately, you know, I know the PETA. I know they can't be happy here in the Philippines. PETA would like have a heart attack with some of the stuff that happens here with animals in the Philippines. For Americans, the local banks will ask you to execute a FATCA document. It's a law U.S. compressed to require foreign banks and American. Yes. I remember doing that. I remember signing a form when I opened my BDO account. My Philippine National Bank account, I actually opened in the United States even before I got here, Fortune. I opened it at the Los Angeles branch. I actually opened it online when I lived in Tucson. I didn't even have to go to Los Angeles to open my Philippine bank account. They let me, at the time, back in 2010, they allowed me to open my Philippine National Bank Los Angeles branch online. And then when I got here to Calibo, I transferred my account from PNB Los Angeles to PNB in Calibo. You need to ask the local bank first if they do before you can. Yes, so far, Fortune, it's bank to bank. I realized that. Like here in Aklan, here in Calibo, the only bank that's allowing that I know of the expats, RCBC. They're the only bank that I have friends that got a bank account through RCBC. So when people come here, I always refer them to RCBC and they're able to open an account there. And somebody did mention to me that they were able to open an account with Security Bank in Calibo, but I can't vouch for it because I don't know the person. I just word of mouth. I trust the RCBC because I know the individual. They went to RCBC. They're on a tourist visa and they were able to open the account. So if you're coming to Calibo, you need to open an account. RCBC in Calibo. I can take you there. I can take you to the branch. No problem. I can take you there. Open you an account. Because I've noticed it's bank to bank, Fortune. Some banks will let you open. Some banks won't. You know. Gino got the right movie reference and the actor. Bravo! All right, man. I couldn't picture. I couldn't like. I know it's the Rob Schneider. You know, it's like I'm terrible with like my memory. HD. I'm telling you, it's like the one of the side effects of chemo treatment, and I've read it, is brain fog, because like the chemo just like poisons your whole body, and I know that because before my chemo, I was sharp, man. You can ask Dazzle. When we were going to college, man, I could memorize things. I got so much information in my head. I can just spit it out easy, But one of the side effects of chemotherapy, unfortunately, is brain fog, where there's moments where I just can't think. Like there's like I can't like think of the easiest things. The easiest things, like I should know this. And I just it may be my age too. I'm 59 now, so I'm not getting any younger. But it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Any suggestions on which PI bank to use for easy online from US banks? For me personally, Olson, Philippine National Bank. That's the bank and I opened the account while I was still in the US, and I've never had problem transferring from a US bank to my Philippine National Bank. My best friend sometimes has to transfer money to me here, and because he wants me to do something for him here, and he banks in Hawaii, and it's a direct to my dollar account, PNB. So I don't know how he does it, but it's easy for him. He said it's not the online bank transfer. All I had to provide to him was my PNB account number, and he has to know the PNB SWIFT, the SWIFT number. I guess a SWIFT is like the code to get it to the Philippine bank. But that's my experience. I know there's other banks, but for me, I've never had trouble with Philippine National Bank. I believe the easiest one is BDO. They have, oh, nice. They got a branch now. They didn't have that before, HD. When I was in the US back in 2010, when I opened my account, Philippine National Bank was the only one I knew, that, and they had a New York branch at the time and Los Angeles branch. I never even heard of BDO back in 2010. I didn't even heard BDO. The first time I heard about it is when I landed here in Aklan. But that's good. That's good. That's another option. That's another option for people moving here. They have a BDO in San Francisco, man. If you're close to San Francisco, open your account there. That way, when you get here, you already got an account. All you have to do is, like, when you get here, if you have an account at BDO San Francisco, go to the BDO branch here and have them transfer it. A lot easier than trying to open an account here. If you open an account here in the Philippines, it's gonna take you half the morning, at least 4 hours to open an account. You gotta produce like a picture ID. You gotta fill out so many forms. They gotta input that form, all the 4 or 5 pages of forms that you fill out. They gotta put it in the computer. Do it in the US. Do it in the US. I mean, you can probably open it online in the US. Open an online BDO account, San Francisco branch. I have to go cook my house. All right, Mom Janet. And again, thank you for the gift, Mom Janet. God bless. Keep us in His loving hands. Yes. Until then, thank you, Mom Janet. Thanks, AG. I need to figure out a bunch of things. Yes, Olson. That's the thing, Olson. Like me, I'm a military guy. You're a military. You're retired too, man. I had an Excel spreadsheet. I had an Excel spreadsheet on my laptop. As my date was closing in on the Philippines, I was like, I have the date. I had like when I would complete it. You got to start doing that, man. That way you don't, And then, there, at some point, man, there's only so much you can do, right? You can prepare, do everything that you can take care of in the U.S. But, it's still, once you get here, you're going to end up like say, oh, man, I wish I'd done that when I was in the U.S. Banco de Oro. They are other video business that it might be confused with. Yes. Oh, sorry. Banco de Oro. That's my bank. I have my mortgage for this house is with Banco de Oro. Gino, it was your story that touched my heart. Yes, I think God bonded us to inspire. Pray for me. Yes, I will be praying for you, Mom Janet. I'm back at the hospital to check. Yes, I know I know how that is, Mom Janet, because I'm gonna be back in October doing my MRI, lab work, and all that for cancer monitoring. So I understand. I understand that the checkups, because you never know, and you know how it is when they check up. It's like you're always praying that everything just goes smoothly and they don't find anything. Negative is not healthy for us. I removed same. Way too. Yes, yes. That's always my advice to people that coming here to the Philippines, and it's just you want to limit the stress, of course, but you want to limit negative people. It's like you want to surround yourself with positive people that bring something positive to your life. The negative people, you just have to learn to like walk away from that. One of the things Aliyah and I need to work on is saying no. I feel that we will struggle, especially when we want to help. Sometimes I feel that you do more. Yes, you will learn that, Olsen, because you're Filipino, man. So it's like I had to learn that. I've lost many money. I've lost cash because of like helping people. Even while I was in college here, I think I paid a few of my classmates' tuition fee that I never got paid back. But it's all good, it's like I learned my lesson. I finally had to say, like, now I have a golden rule now. I don't lend money. Maybe a select few that I would still like. I have friends here, Filipino friends that I've met here that I wouldn't even mind just giving them the money but they're the type that wouldn't ask me anyway. But if they got in a bind, I would just give them money. I wouldn't even lend them money. That's how close I feel to them. But I've lost money here. Dazzle can vouch for that. I've lost money for different friends. Unfortunately, they start disappearing from you and it's like time to pay back. Or I've even had people where I lend them money and they get mad when I ask them, hey, when are you gonna pay me? It's like, and they're mad, like, I'm gonna pay you. It's like, what do you think, I'm not gonna pay you? But of course they never paid me. So that is something you'll have to learn. I mean, something that you'll have to learn, Olson, when you get here is you'll have to say no. Because your priority should always be your family. And that's the way I can say no to people. Because, I'm taking care of Leanna now. I'm taking care of Mom now and Dazzle. So my family is more important than other people's problems. Unfortunately, it's like, but like I said, there's a few that, I would like make an exception because I've built a trust and bond with them. I think it may be better to withdraw using your USA Bank or Navy Fed Bank. The local Philippine bank have issues connecting to other branches of the same company. Deposits stay in. Oh, you can use your ATMs here coming from the US. You can use your ATM. The only thing is they charge you. Some of them, like even for a 10,000 peso withdrawal, will charge you like 250 pesos. That's 180, 190. That's not much, here. Even in the Philippines, that's not much. So you might get hammered with that cost of ATM fees. I know Charles Schwab, I know they reimburse you with your ATM fees, but you got to be careful with a lot of banks in the US like Charles Schwab. I've heard it. I don't know personally. I didn't experience it, but I've heard that they might close your account if they know that you're no longer in the United States and just using your card here. I think a lot of people don't have problem with the Charles Schwab if they invest in Charles Schwab too. Not just the banking with Charles Schwab or ATM. They also have stocks. They also have the investment with Charles Schwab, because if you got a lot of money in Charles Schwab, they're not going to close your account. They don't want to lose your business. But if you're just using their banking for their ATM so you don't get charge ATM fees here, they might catch on to that. They might catch on to that. And a lot of times what I've heard from people is if you have a American bank account, you know, of course you're using an American address, usually from a family member in the US. I wouldn't let them know that you're here in the Philippines or you move permanently to the Philippines. That's how your accounts get closed. I've seen that online. I've seen from other videos that their accounts got closed in the US because they're no longer in the US. But for me, you know, it's like the only bank I have, you know, I still have a bank in the US because my military pension goes to that bank for the last 21 years, or going on 22 years now that on my military pension. So I kept that one bank, but most of my transactions now are here in the Philippines. The minute money drops on my pension, I move that money here in the Philippines. Most of our money is here in the Philippines. That way, Dazzle's got access to it. We'll be traveling to Manila, August 25, staying near Mall of Asia. All right, that's a nice place. Yeah, that's usually where people stay, that area close to Mall of Asia. You'll have fun. Mall of Asia's nice. Hotels around that area, they're nice by the airport. The same branch, HD. OB, wala is the main thing to tell beggars. If I am wala. Yeah. That, you know, they're trying to limit, you know, at least here in our province, Edgar, there are sometimes in Calibo, there are beggars, but we don't have many. Especially in Boracay now. That used to be a problem in Boracay, but now I hardly ever see beggars, because even in Calibo, because our province is, to me, Panay Island, like especially Aklan, our province is doing pretty good. We're not one of the poor areas in the Philippines because there's industry here, between the farming, between the fishing, and then commercial fishing, commercial farming, and then Boracay Island with the tourists. You know, we have a pretty healthy economy here in Aklan province. And now with the expats coming to Aklan province and discovering the province, you know, the province life. I mean, you know, we don't have an issue with beggars. There's some kids that I know in Calibo, but they sell flowers. Sampaguita, you know, sampaguita is a good, nice smelling flower. They put it on a string, and the little kids will carry it and will sell it for 5-10 pesos. I usually just buy the whole bunch, you know, because I know at least they're doing something, right? They're not doing like, you know, they're not begging. At least they're selling something. Wala. Yeah, nothing, wala. That's what I'm afraid of, HT. You have amazing memory, remembering the banks. I only mentioned months ago. Fortune, Marites, Master of Arts in relaying information through exaggerated storytelling. That's funny. I gotta like take a picture of that, Fortune. I haven't seen that before. That is funny. That's so funny. I'm gonna copy that, man. I'm gonna copy that, Marites. Master of Arts in relaying information through exaggerated story. That's so funny. Thank you, Edgar. That will be hard when my relatives are reaching out. I don't want to move far or avoid them, but yes. Yeah. I know that, you know, it wasn't a problem for me, Olson, because when I moved to Aklan, I don't have any relatives here in Aklan. When I moved to Boracay, I didn't know a single person in Boracay, not a single person in Aklan. My landlord was the only person I knew. So it never became a problem. And then it's not a problem with Dazzle's family, because like from the minute I met Dazzle's family, we had a good understanding, you know. It's like, and then that I'm retired, I'm on a budget, you know, I'm not one to say, sometimes that's a problem with some expats, you know. Now, you know, a few of the expats that I've met, you know, a lot of times, you know, they meet a Filipina, they're trying to impress the Filipina, of course, which is understandable, but sometimes, you know, they kind of let on that they have a lot of money. You know, right? Like, but in reality, they're in debt. They're in debt. They got credit cards. They're showering the Filipina with gifts. They're showering the Filipina's family with gifts. Repairing the Filipina's parents' house. Spending money. And to me, that's just a bad precedent when you do something like that in the beginning of a relationship, because the Filipina and her family is gonna expect more from you, and then they're gonna think you're rich, and then sometimes come to find out, it was all on credit cards. It's all, you don't really have a lot of money. So, and then, the expat gets mad that they're expecting it now. You want to set from the beginning, you want to set like the ground rules. Like, like for me, I told Dazzle, I'm on a military pension alone. I'm on a budget. I don't have much money. It's like, she knew that, and that way you meet a good person too. You're not meeting somebody that just wants you for the money. It's like, that's why for me, just for me now, this is just my own opinion. I guess I wasn't, I landed in Boracay. I was having fun my first 18 months in Boracay before I went to school. But in the back of my mind, when it was time for me to meet a Filipina, just for me now, I'm not bashing no Filipinas that live in the cities. I was looking for a province girl. I was looking for, because I just know from my life, things that I've seen, the province girls are just they just like less things. They're not materialistic a lot of times. They're happy. Where like here in Aklan, most of the Filipinas you'll meet, they live with their parents, they're with their family. They're happy here. They're not. They don't. You hear sometimes people say, "Oh, you're meeting a Filipina. She just wants a green card." That doesn't apply much. It might apply more for people that's like in the cities, because in the cities they're more westernized, more attractive to them to go to like a developed country, America, Canada. But in the province, a lot of times the Filipinas you'll meet here, they're close to their family. A lot of them don't have relatives in the US or Canada. So if they go there, they'll be alone, and if family is important to them. Like Dazzle, with mom, with Leanna, with Nene, with Miko, they're all close. So for her to like leave all of them and not experience the nephews, the nieces, that would be hard. That would be hard. That's why, I don't, that's why I don't try to generalize. I know there's girls there's Filipinas in the cities that think the same, they want to stay in the Philippines, but you just have better chance, I think, that the province girls of like, they want to remain in the Philippines. Because I know for many guys that are coming, the many people that I'm helping moving here to the Philippines, this is your retirement. It's like, you're retiring to the Philippines. You're not coming here to like meet a Filipina and then move back to the US. You're trying to get away from the developed country. You want a more peaceful life, right? So to me, that's why you have to like, to me, I always tell to the guys, it's like, man, you got to stick to your guns. You got to stick to what got you here in the Philippines. Don't give up on your Philippine dream or your Philippine peaceful retirement life here just because you met a Filipina. Because I've seen that happen. I've seen people that they come here, the next thing I know, it's like 2 years later, they're on a plane back to the US. And next thing I know, they're like on the job line in the US again, in their late 50s, early 60s, they're back to work again. To me, yeah, you gave, it's like for me, people, have the right to do whatever they want to do. They're right. I'm not gonna like, love. It's like people do crazy things for love. What kind of visa did you get to continue staying in the Philippines? Is it? You mean SRB? No. I got here on a balikbayan visa. I have a Philippine birth certificate. I left the Philippines when I was a kid. But so after a year and a half, I applied for dual citizen. So I'm now a citizen of the United States, and I'm also a citizen of the Philippines. So no, I don't have to renew visas. I don't have to do anything like that. I'm a Filipino citizen. Love that, Fortune. Love that. LOL, Fortune. But hey, good morning, John. Good morning, John. Salve and Maggie from Florida. Good morning. Good morning. Kumusta? I'm good. Mabuti ako, kapatid. Got a few minutes to chat. All right, the Panay Posse. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Matching, I don't know about matching tattoos. I know about matching tattoos. JP matching tattoos. LOL. Tattoos are no longer, they're no longer current. Laser removal. Man, that gotta be painful, man. Laser. Walla Walla is a wine country town. However, and home of the toughest prison in the Pacific Northwest. Walla Walla. Maybe we can get a patch or a challenge coin. Hey, a challenge coin. A patch will be good, man. A patch will be good, OB, because you can put the patch on a hat, on a shirt, on a bag. You know, I think a patch. I don't know of a coin, if they can make a coin here in the Philippines. I got one tattoo, so hopefully not a problem. No, not a problem if you got tattoo. I got one. I got like a tattoo. I got a tattoo when I was in Japan. This was my retirement tattoo when I left Japan. So I got one tattoo. Not a problem here. Called it Jesus Juice based on allegations. Oh. Michael C. That's right. Me and Rose have to give 11 post-dated checks. Yeah, see? Thank you, Michael. It's like, that's the only time I've heard people that have to issue checks. Because like Michael was saying, he rented a condo in Manila. He had to write 12 months, the length of the lease, post-dated checks every month. So the landlord is guaranteed to get their money. It's like, have you heard a song called Witch Doctor? In the lyrics, all right, go, you go. Ooh, walla walla bingman. No, it's like JP might have heard it. The carts are called carroza for towns with a main river or near the shore. Yes, the fluvial. Yeah. Fortune, I've seen that. There's in the town of Malinaw, they do the fluvial, the boat, it's kind of like a raft, they float their patron saint. I have seen that in person. Fortune. The Witch Doctor, HD, the Witch Doctor. It sounds familiar. It's called Albulario. Oh, the Witch Doctor, yeah, Albulario. They still have those here. I think sometimes mom, I think mom still uses in the province, albulario is still popular. It's like because in the province here in Aklan, we got mountain. People live in the mountain. The albulario now, they're basically like they treat you a lot with like herbal stuff, like leaves. They'll boil leaves and make you drink the boiled leaves, or bunch of leaves they'll put in your head, put it in your neck, wrap the leaf. They still have, you figure a lot of medicine comes from leaves, comes from nature. So I don't use them. I don't use albulario, man. I go to the doctor, the real doctor. I don't go to the albulario. I didn't think that might be considered a very bad thing to call someone in the Philippines. You're right. It's considered more like folk healer. Yes, folk healer, medicine man. Yeah, medicine man. Because they'll try to heal you with, like I said, leaves, roots, like herbal medicine, the medicine man. Good day from Queensland, Australia. Beeline. All right, good day, mate. GP, there are 2 PNB remittance centers near Seattle. I'm planning on contacting and see if they have a good info. Good, JP. Good. Just here to roast, but all right, JP, that should work. I have been Ned for NED. Okay, Ned. Remember to bring a box of checks from your US bank. and do as Gino said, once a month. Right? Yep, that's what I do. That's why I still have them. I still have the checks. That is still like the cheapest way I've found to like move money, from your checking account from the US, because PNB, my bank, I still have to pay them. I think they raised it to 250 pesos now, so about $4.50 to process the check. But yeah, I can write a big check, I can write like the balance, because you get like, whatever. If I write $2,000, they will move $2,000 to my dollar account, the whole $2,000, and then I can withdraw actual dollars, $100 bills, and those will get you the best exchange here. Because if usually the money transfer companies like Remitly, Wise, Zoom, all those, they kind of kill you on the rate sometimes. They might say no fee. But if the exchange rate is 58, they might give you 56.5. So, and if you're moving thousands of dollars, that's pretty significant. Per $1,000, you could be losing up to 2,000 peso, 1,000. So it could be you're losing $40, $50. That's why I don't mind writing the check, taking 30 days to clear on the check. I just make sure I have money, and we do now. We have money on the different accounts here, so. Lending is not lending. Okay, lending in a lot of countries, but Philippines is bad. Yes, lending, anytime lending here in the Philippines, like personal lending to other people, yeah, it's like a lot of times if somebody borrows money from you here, you pretty much just lost that money, unfortunately. We use Western Union to transfer to a Philippine bank account and take out what we need. Yes, good. It's like, people have different ways to access, to move money here. Western Union, MoneyGram, Western Union, Wise. I mean, there's so many ways now to move money. That's from Australia. All right, that's right. All right, man. People send money to themselves, pick it up, pick the money at like the remittance center. Many ways. And I always tell people, the more ways you can access your money to the Philippines, the more ways you can transfer your money here, the better. You don't want to have just one or two ways to access your money or to transfer your money. The more, the better. Because sometimes, plan A don't work, plan B don't work, go to plan C, Aklan is awesome. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you feel like I think so. I think Aklan province to me is one of the hidden gems in the Philippines. It's like Panay Island. To me, it's like Panay Island, Aklan province, Iloilo, some of the hidden gems here in the Philippines. Was founded by the D's. But slowly the C boys got into China Bank and one day became, majority owner. Balik, hello. Good day, Balik. PNB used to be the main. I hit my 2-hour mark, so I got to speed up here, guys. Thanks for all the banking. Awesome. All right. Swift Society World. All right, thanks, Fortune. I never knew what SWIFT stand for. I never knew what SWIFT. I just know Swift code, but I never knew what that meant. I remember visiting Albularia for dog bite. Yeah. Yep. You'll have it, Janet. All right, I got to the bottom. All right. Vegas Will, my friend in Las Vegas. Hey, good morning. All right, I got to the bottom, and we're at the 2-hour mark. I always try to keep it at 2 hours. I don't want to hold up everybody's time, but I appreciate everyone for joining the live stream. Thank you so much for your time. I know we're all busy, we're all doing things, but I do appreciate you taking a minute and joining the live stream. Love the stories, love the things I learned from you. It's not just me learning. I'm learning. Like, I learned so many things today. So many terms that I learned. Take care, everyone. Take care. Appreciate all the support. Hope everybody has a good rest of their weekend for some. A good Monday for some. Take care, everyone. See you on the next live stream. And please stay blessed.